Okay, so first of all, I'm a mom of two teenagers. I'm a wife, and I consider myself a food safety professional. So, growing up, I come from a very big family. We were six kids, grown up in the Eastern Cape in Port Elizabeth, born and bred, attended school, went to the Western Cape for my studies. Um, Seeking work, I ended up in the Northwest, which I deemed was very lucky. I actually went there to visit my sister just to have a short break after studying, and ended up finding a post and set roots in the Northwest in Rustenburg. So where I met my husband of 20 years now, and yeah, that's where everything started for me. So yeah, how I ended up in Gauteng is also again work related, looking for new challenges. Got opportunity in the Gauteng, moved here to Germiston, and ever since 2010 I've been in Gauteng, following my passion. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. So, on a daily basis, I consult for food manufacturing facilities. So, what we do as a consulting team, we basically implement food safety management systems, and that can be hazard analysis, which we call HACCP controls. It can be ISO, which is directly related to food safety manufacturing and implementation, as well as quality management system in the form of 9001. So we are hands-on with the manufacturing, teaching people, learning from people also how to do safe manufacturing at the end of the day. So it's not about, a lot of people getting confused about quality, how food tastes. The fancy part, which we call hospitality, not to do with food manufacturing, of setting up a beautiful dish and serving it. That's more hospitality. We are more in the background, making sure whatever is served is safe for human consumption. So we're the guys who is not seeing, the manufacturer. Where does your food? We always ask, do you know where your food is coming from? That is us in the background, making sure it's safe for human consumption, and that's our day-to-day work. So my passion actually didn't start in food safety. I wanted to study medicine when I went to Stellenbosch, and I ended up changing my direction while I was there. And again, it wasn't into food, it was into pharmaceuticals. I wanted to do pharmacy, and nothing actually worked out as I planned, but still it worked out as it should have, because I found a passion that I didn't realize even I had from school. In school we have all these ideas of what we want to become and how life should be, and for me none of that worked out. So it was a little bit of a disappointment, but in the end, I did find my passion through it. And yeah, from there, my motto in life became, say yes to every opportunity that comes your way. Because if I didn't say yes, I would have never actually found my passion. That is food safety and implementation. That is training of people, sharing knowledge, making sure people know why they have to do things a certain way, according to, standards, procedures, and so forth. So yeah, that's me, daughter, my passion, and where food safety came in. So say yes, guys. Say yes to every opportunity that comes your way. When I was in grade 11, at that time, way back when I was young, we got approved on our grade 11 standard 9 results, and on my final exam in matric I didn't do well in my maths, so I had to do a gap year in terms of redoing my maths. So I didn't want to do that, so I decided to downgrade to BAC. And while doing BAC microbiology, I wanted to go into the pharmaceutical route, and then me and pathology, it just was not for me. I didn't have the passion for it. I didn't love chemistry, and those were the subjects I struggled with. So first semester, I decided in the second semester I'm going to let it go, and then I started pursuing other things, and that's how microbiology became my major. So the future I saw for myself at that time, spending time in the lab testing. I was basically concentrating on water, how to make water safe, how to make sure, people have drinking water, planning on working in a water lab. I actually, when my first interview was at the water lab at the local municipality in Rustenburg, I got that position. And then when I went to go and see the lab, I was like, I can't do this every day. I can't do the same test every single day for the rest of my life. And I'm like, okay, maybe let me look around. And then the opportunity came at a poultry abattoir where they needed a lab assistant in their poultry lab. So I went, didn't get it. They wanted someone with experience, and then they said sorry, they couldn't employ me. But then the plus side happened on that. They called me back to say, we have a position in the factory, in the manufacturing facility. Will you be interested? And I'm like, and I don't know anything about manufacturing. What am I supposed to do? They're like, no, we're going to teach you. We're going to show you what to do. So you just need to, be there. So I said, okay, fine. Remember, you're out of university. You have never worked before, so you're thinking, what else am I going to do? So I said yes. And yeah, I got all my training at that facility. They sent me for meat inspection. They sent me for ISO 9001 training, ISO 22000 training. They sent me for HACCP training, and that's where my passion became alive. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. I like doing this. I like fault finding. I like risk analysis. And that's how it all happened. So yes, again, say yes to every opportunity. And I spent 6 years of my life at that facility, and that's where I grew into the industry. What I was lucky is that I had an opportunity to work in the abattoir, I had an opportunity to work at the farms, I had an opportunity to work in animal feed production, I had an opportunity to work in distribution in one company. And that's where I felt like, I was very lucky to have said yes to that opportunity, because my foundation was laid there in terms of my growth and also what I love to do. To say love for me. Why I'm saying love is love for me includes everything. It doesn't matter whether it is love towards your family, whether it's love towards what you do, whether it's love towards your fellow man. For me, it's all in that. I mean, if you say that you love in love, then you love according to certain, Christian values in terms of being kind to your fellow man, not being boastful, as the word says, to treat people with a certain level of respect. And I always make fun with my kids and saying, love doesn't mean I'm going to handle you with kid gloves. There is tough love also. You have to represent people, this discipline. There is a culture of commitment, sometimes people commit to things, but tomorrow they feel differently. I don't know how to express myself in that manner. For me, a commitment is everything. Once I've committed to doing something, I've committed myself to someone. It's everything to me. You just don't, turn around and walk away. And again, it comes back to the factor of love. It's not to say you cannot disappoint people. Disappointment is always there. No one is perfect. And again, that's about love. We're not asking for perfection. We're just asking for truth and trust and respect, and obviously to value people. Because I always feel like in this world today, we do not value people. It's like people are replaceable like any other object. And that is what's, getting lost even in a family setup. We don't value each other. It's like, I know you're going to be there, you're going to always be there, and it's not always the case. So it comes to me down to that. Do you truly love what you do? Do you love your family? And it needs to be unconditional, because if it's unconditional, you will accept them with their imperfections. When you treat people with love and respect, they give that back to you in return. I believe that I have a wonderful relationship with all of my clients. We can be honest, we can be truthful. I think they trust me in terms of confidentiality. They share everything with me, whether it's business related or personal related. And that is what I want to be in terms of being a MiChem dynamic consultant. People shouldn't be afraid, because sometimes when it comes to wearing the hat of a consultant or even an auditor, people immediately put you in a little box, like you're there to judge them. And that is not the case at all. We do not judge, we help. We are there to serve you. And once you show them that, you can tell me anything. I'm there to help you fix the problem. I'm not there to judge you because of the issues or the problem you might have within your facility. And once you show them that you're there to serve, you're there to help. But it basically breaks down all those walls. I actually don't like to be called a consultant because of what it comes with. Immediately people just see you as being judgy. They're fault finding, but not the help. They don't see the helping part, just there to find fault. And that's not the case. That is not what we want to put out there. We are there to help. We are there to serve. We are there to be part of your team. First word that comes to my head is safety. Is like, and this is a lot of times you don't get it in food manufacturing facilities, that word safety, like that belonging. As people are so scared to say when they've made a mistake because they don't feel safe. They think they're going to lose their job. There's going to be consequences. Yes, we made a mistake, but we can rectify our mistakes. We can be honest about our mistakes. And that's what I find in MiChem, is that safety. Doesn't matter. You can have a horrible day. You can have, not every day is 100% wonderful. Sometimes, yes, even in MiChem, being the perfect company, we have days where we want to pull our hair out of our head, where we want to scream, but it doesn't mean that you still can't act in love. And you have that safe environment to say, I'm not up to it today, guys. Let's do this tomorrow. Or, my positivity level is at a medium today. Let's try this again tomorrow. So it's not to say that you don't have off days or you don't have down days, but you have an environment where we are safe to say that I'm not 100% today. And you have a team or family that supports you and saying, okay, how can we help you? What is wrong? You have that platform, you have that environment, and you have that support. And a lot of people don't have that. I started consulting in 2013. So I had my own consulting firm, and I had a business partner. So we were doing consulting since 2013. And I think it's around by the same time that MiChem Dynamics also started consulting. So we started off around about the same time. I knew Santi because I was making use of the lab that she was working for previously. And she was the lab manager at the time. I was the systems manager at the facility that I was working at. So when I had issues, with the lab, I was always referred to, reported to Santi. And that's how I knew the name. I never knew the face. I just knew there was a Santi here at the lab. And if I have a complaint, Santi is the one who will address my complaint. And one of these complaints, she said she wanted to come to our facility and meet with me and my manager. And that's how I got to meet Santi. And that relationship started from there. And when we started our consulting, because they were doing the lab, we were doing food safety, and they were using us as outsource for their food safety questions and issues and so forth. So I was basically, consulting on the sideline for them if they had any issues when it comes to food safety. And that's when they branched out also, saying, okay, fine, they constantly have these food safety questions when it comes to the lab. Won't I want to, when I left our company, we didn't do well financially and so forth. And then she asked, would I consider joining them full-time instead of just freelancing in terms of doing the consulting? And then, there's Suenita, and the food safety department in MiChem was born. Guys looking for work, never stop working on yourself, because we all know the situation in our country right now. It's difficult, it's hard, there's a lot of competition. I don't think competition has ever been so hectic because of jobs being so scarce. So where you in the past would have one person, 10 people for one job, you will now have 100 people for one job. So competition is hectic. But never stop working on yourself. During the times while you are looking for work, see what you can do. There's such fantastic free courses on the internet right now. Self-development, self-discipline, looking emotional growth, how to become, a good servant leader. What is it that you want to see in yourself in terms of your own goals? Where do you want to go? Do you want to be in that leader position? Because sometimes it's not for all of us. But if you do not want that for yourself, what is it that you want for yourself? Because once you have that clear mindset and that clear goal and where you want to go in terms of your future, it's easier for you to know what to say yes to in terms of what comes your way. And sometimes, yes, if you have family or your friends that can use a hand in terms of help, it might not be the direction that you want to go into, but it will teach you other skills. Like I've assisted people that did finance and economics. It was the first time I was exposed to economics. I said, okay, is this what a deficit means? I never knew when they were giving the South African budget. What does that mean? Now that I'm helping a friend in this direction, I also now understand a little bit more about finances. And you never know when that skill is going to be required in terms of where you're going to end up one day. A lot of times I get in training the question, how do we get to be knowledgeable on all these facets that you know so much about? The reason why I know so much about it, because I was always willing to help someone else. At no cost, to say, I'm going to help in HR, and then HR tells me all about labor law, how to fill in an IOD form, all those things. I go and help in finance, and I find out how debitors and creditors works. I go and help in distribution. I find out how the software systems for warehousing works, and that makes you grow. So never stop working on yourself while you are searching for that ideal job or ideal position. And even if there are opportunities on the ground floor, take it. You never know where it might lead you in terms of your next opportunity or your next job. Okay. Then, when it comes to leadership out there, from positions I've held as a manager and a supervisor, every human being has their own unique talents. And none of us are the same. Every one of us comes with our own perspective in terms of where we come from, the situations we've been exposed to. And as leadership, we should appreciate that. We should use that in terms of recognizing people. None of us are the same. Appreciate people for their differences and make sure you can use it to the benefit of the organization. We sometimes forget as leadership, we're also there to serve. We are there to serve our employees. We are not just there to be that example for them, but also to make sure that their needs are met in terms of their requirements when it comes to being your employee. So those are the two things I would like to say. Appreciate people for their uniqueness. Look at what perspective they are bringing to the team. And secondly, don't forget, we are still servants in terms of serving our employees. The most is the change that we are bringing in our industry, and not just our industry, but also I believe in the world. Change is hard for anyone. Yes, we want change. Sometimes our situation puts us in that we want change, but we never know what that change is. So us being driven by change, making people's life better, even if it just take people out of the little box. Sometimes we're in this little comfort zone of ours, just to let a person wanting to step out of that comfort zone and trying new things. Even that to me is like a positive. If someone who's never tried something new now all of a sudden wants to try something new, I feel like, oh, we've done it. So we're not saying that in 5 years we're going to bring world peace. No, that's not what we're saying. We're talking about these little changes where we know that it's going to impact someone's life. As you're saying, with these videos that you guys are doing, which is the reason why I said yes, is that it can potentially bring change into someone's life, for them to see an open window where a door might have been closed in their face. So that is what makes me excited, the change that MiChem Dynamics will bring and is bringing to this world. I have for many years been in my little box because of fear. And that's the one thing I want to leave people with. Don't let fear hold you back. I know it's easier said than done, but fear holds us back from a lot of things, a lot of great things in our lives. And learn how to deal with your fear, to be that brave person that you see yourself to be. Because I know you can do it. I know you are brave. I always say, if I can do it, then anyone can do it. Fear and anxiety sometimes hold us back from our best self. So don't let fear hold you back. Say yes to your opportunities. Push yourself, drive yourself, and be that brave person that you know you can be. That's it.